Hello everybody, what is happening today? It is Sunday, December 17th. One more here at SeaWorld San Antonio. It's the big purple and yellow. Usually I don't like things purple and yellow. Lakers, boo. I like the Vikings. Anyway, this one's called Steel Eel. It is a Morgan coaster. This is the Morgan completion credit. I've done Phantom's Revenge, Wild Thing, Mamba, Steel Force. This is the fifth one. Kind of one I always forget about because it doesn't have that traditional layout that the other three do, and Phantom's Revenge just in its own category. But this is a Morgan as well. It opened in 1999 with a height of 150 feet. Also, maybe that's another reason why I don't put it with the others, because it's not technically a hyper. It's only 150 feet. But freshly painted just a couple years ago. I forgot, it did not used to be purple and yellow. I forgot what the original colors were. But a lot of people say, kind of like Texas Stingray, kind of like Boardwalk Bullet in Texas, very underrated. It supposedly provides some really, really strong ejector airtime and floater as well. It is a smaller scale, quote, hyper. It's not really hyper, but it looks really, really fun. It's just hill, hill, hill. Nothing but hills, pretty much. It almost looks more like a B&M hyper than a Morgan. So I'm hyped. I'm hyped to get on. I've heard some really good things about Steel Eel. After Texas Stingray, I'm expecting this is the other star of the show here at San Antonio. So there goes Wavebreaker again. I'm hyped. I'm hyped. It looks really pretty. Loving the paint scheme, despite the purple and yellow. But yeah, I'm excited. Let's go hop on both the front and the back, because there's not really a lot of people here, which is awesome. Love that touch. Yeah, Steel Eel. No, my parents will not be riding. Wavebreaker, very pretty. That was some Steel Eel, y'all. Wow. Talk about two completely different rides depending on the front row and the back row. I put it on Instagram. I kind of call it the mullet coaster. Shout out mullet. Because that's business in the front and a party in the back. I got on the front row after it was down for about an hour. So first in line, awesome floater. It honestly felt like a B&M hyper. Just really good floater over all the hills. I didn't think too violent. It was just kind of a peaceful, really fun ride with a lot of good airtime. I'm like, oh, that's not what I heard. I heard the airtime was actually kind of violent. Well, then I went to the back row, and that's when Morgan came back. Because Morgan, I'm pretty sure, keeps chiropractors in business. Because, oh my God, the ejector in the back. Am I talking crazy? Was it floor in the front, ejector in the back? Is that an accurate description from those that have ridden this? Very, very strange ride. Wow, do you get slammed into your seat in the back row? Holy crap. The drop was so much better in the back. Kind of like Texas Stingray. You're out of the seat the entire time. The ending, I could definitely compare to the standard 3 Morgans with just those really solid ejector hills towards the end. I will say those do have the helix, which Steel Force and Mamba, the helix is a really fun. Wild Thing was a little meandering. This does not have a helix. It just has a turnaround. So that brings it down a little bit for me. But when the ejector hit, it hit. So obviously, again, Phantom is in its own category. I would say Mamba is also in its own category, at least compared to Wild Thing and Steel Force. I was comparing Steel Force and Steel Eel, ironically. I do still think Wild Thing is the weakest of the Morgans. I gotta give the edge to Steel Force a little bit because of the helix, and it's an overall solid ride. So is this. It was moving a little slower for whatever reason. It does say 65 miles per hour. I wasn't really feeling that, but it's still a very, very good roller coaster. If you don't like ejector and you don't want your lower back to get nailed too much, this might not be the ride for you. For me, it's a win. 7.58. I think it's a fair score. I think I gave Steel Force 7.64. It's very, very close to those two. But yeah, Steel Eel is a win for your boy. Let's wrap up SeaWorld San Antonio. All right, that is SeaWorld San Antonio. Kind of a quick stop. Just 3 roller coasters. I rode Great White, the Batman ride. I rode Atlantis. Comparing it to the other SeaWorld parks, I do think it's third of three. It doesn't have as much charm as the other two. Like, there was like top 40 hits playing. I kind of like the unique, like, kind of sea life soundtrack that Orlando definitely has, and San Diego, I believe, have had as well. However, SeaWorld San Antonio does indeed have the best SeaWorld coaster in Texas Stingray. Yeah, it's over Mako. And Mako's really damn good too. So obviously SeaWorld Orlando is the gold standard of the chain. San Diego was fun. Emperor was good. Didn't get on Manta. They have a good Skyrocket too. I'd say SeaWorld San Diego has the worst roller coaster lineup, but as an overall park, this is probably 3 of 3. It's still a really good time though. It's still, you know, it's better than your Six Flags. It does still have, you know, its charm to it. But overall, a good time. So, wow, 2 weeks to go, guys. Oh, this is going to be a tough 2 weeks maybe. We're going to spend the next week at another park in San Antonio. You know where I'm headed. And then the last week, you know, at a state that I've been to many times, and that holds a special place in my heart. So thank you so much for all the support. 50 weeks down. Wow. 2 to go. I believe my first 2 weeks, I said something like 2 weeks down, 50 to go. It's been a ride, guys. It's been a ride. Like, comment, subscribe. See you tomorrow.